Senator Dianne Feinstein is not at all convinced that there was no third door. And she says the FBI director's October surprise helped sink Hillary Clinton's campaign. Senator Feinstein joins me now here in Washington. Senator, thank you very much. We want to talk about what Comey said and the Sally Yates testimony before a subcommittee of your committee tomorrow. But first, let's talk about health care. They passed it without reading it, but there are legitimate problems, big problems, with Obamacare. The fact that some of the insurers, Aetna and others, are pulling out. Virginia is now going to be affected. Iowa doesn't have choice. Don't they have a point?
Well, there is a point, yes. But I want to say something. 20 million more people are insured post the beginning of Obamacare today. This bill, which looks like this and is complicated to read, I've been trying to read it over the weekend, and this is the manager's package that has the series of amendments. This has just come over to the Senate. It has no score. It's probably one of the biggest bills that the Senate will ever consider. We don't know its breadth and depth as analyzed professionally. We don't know its cost as analyzed professionally. And there are a lot of major changes which are going to have a dramatic impact on the healthcare marketplace, which is now 1/5 of the economy. I think I was reading the chief economist of Barclays this morning, Andrea, pointed out that this is going to have major impact on the economy if it goes through. So, I don't want to monopolize this.
No, I'm really intrigued by your comments about this. Do you think that something can come out of the Senate? Can enough Democrats go over, or enough moderate Republicans be persuaded that they should vote for something, or what has to come out of the bill for you to even consider supporting it?
First, I don't know what the leader, McConnell, has in mind. I don't know what the 13 white men, when you have 5 Republican women who are excluded from that, these 13 men are supposed to sit down.
You're speaking of the working group that has been put together, and it's all male.
And it's all male. And women's health is a big part of this, and women are a majority of the population, and their health interests deserve to be contemplated in any reform. My position is, and I believe this is the Democratic position, don't repeal Obamacare. Take those sections, like the individual market, which has some problems in it, and deal with it and fix those sections. And it can be done. I'm really very worried that in the rush to judgment, we create a major health care problem for people. And we lose a lot of jobs in so doing, and we create a whole atmosphere of unpredictability.
I want to ask you about the FBI director's testimony. He said he was mildly nauseous at thinking that he had impacted the election, but felt he had no choice. You disagree?
I disagree with him. I think you look before you leap. The FBI has a policy of not announcing October surprises. This was 11 days before the election. What he could have done is said, let's just be sure. Let's get a search warrant. Let's look at the Wiener computer, and let's see what there is. And if he did that, he would have the information that, well, there's no need for another investigation. We have all this material already. 3,000 emails, 12 classified. We've already looked at them. So there was no need. So what he did was authorize what I believe to be a needless investigation, 11 days, which I have no doubt, and I believe that the Clinton campaign's polls show this, that it made a big difference. And the FBI should not do that. So I don't understand the march to do this immediately when he could have gotten the search warrant first.
What do you want to hear from Sally Yates? She was fired. She was the acting Attorney General. She's going to be testifying tomorrow morning for the first time in public.
Well, Sally Yates is very much respected. She's a professional. She's not a politician. She has spent a lot of time in the department. She is very widely respected. And she apparently has some information as to who knew what when that she is willing to share. And that would be what she knew about Michael Flynn's connections to Russia, and exactly what she knew they were. I don't want to in any way say that I know what she's going to say, because I don't. But there are so many questions here as to who knew what when, what was done with this. Why did Russia, that always responds to sanctions, when President Obama PNG'd 35 Russian intelligence officers
kicked them out of
this
the country,
kicked them out, that's right, immediately, there was no response from Russia. And that in itself was a message, because Russia always responds. This time they didn't. What changed? That's what we need to know.
What we now know is that the Trump transition was warned about Michael Flynn. Why was he then hired as National Security Advisor?
Well, I wouldn't know that answer, but...
Does it raise suspicions in your mind?
Well, it raises suspicions because, from my point of view, he was fired by Jim Clapper from his job in the intelligence, running an intelligence agency, and that's a potential danger signal. And when I saw a three-star general in front of the Republican convention shouting, "Lock her up," I thought, oh my goodness, this would never happen. It never has happened before. This is a three-star general of the United States military doing this with no evidence. And it made a big impression on me.
Dianne Feinstein.